My daughter, Gina, 38, left her husband, Dan, for a younger and more exciting man from her work. She was 30 and Dan was 32. He was working his buns off to support her and the kids and a very nice life. She was a substitute teacher, and she met a young teacher. I think he was 25. He had time to do all the stuff that Dan didn't have time for anymore. I love my daughter. I support my daughter, but she broke up her marriage for a boy. They broke up when she got hit with a condo levy she asked him to help pay for since he was living with her. He declined since he wasn't on the deed. He said he didn't mind paying rent, but that maintenance was on the owner. They fought, and that was that. She ended up having to sell the condo. It was too expensive for her alone, but she fought for it in the divorce. That was 6 years ago, and she finally burned through the money from the sale. We told her to buy something smaller in a different neighborhood, but she insisted that she needed to live there so the kids' lives wouldn't be disrupted. In the meantime, our son-in-law just remarried a lovely girl, Madison, 28. Our grandchildren like her, and she's always very pleasant when we speak. She's pregnant, and the kids are excited for a new sibling. I will definitely treat the baby as a grandchild if Dan and Madison allow it. My daughter's back living with us. All she does is work and complain. She has to work too much. She can't meet good men. This new woman stole her life. It never stops. My wife is always commiserating with her about how she's so hard done by. I just keep my mouth shut. Madison came by yesterday to pick up the kids. After she left, my daughter went off again. She was driving a new car they got her since her old car would be impractical for a family of 5 to drive around in. The kids ran out to see it and check out all the bells and whistles. Gina didn't even say hello. After Madison and the kids left, she started whining again, now about how she can't afford a new car. She has bad credit, and I won't co-sign. She could get a car, but the rates would be astronomical. She spends most of her money on her credit card debts and vacations. I couldn't help it. I told her that she chose to give up her life for something different and that choices have consequences. She literally ran crying to her room, and I felt like crap. Her mom scolded me for being so harsh. I apologized for saying what I said and honestly feel bad about it, but I think she needs to stop complaining about her life since she chose it. Edit. I've known Dan since he was 12 years old. He and my son are best friends. I'm happy for him, and I wish my daughter had seen what she wanted in him when they were married. Not the idiot. Your daughter's 38 and old enough to hear the truth. You don't need to use kids' gloves anymore with her. The constant whining and complaining must be a real ball ache for everyone around. Seeing as she works too hard, she should soon save up enough to whine in her own place. Yeah, I struggle to see how this woman stole her life, LOL. Gina divorced her husband to be with a more exciting man. Like, you chose that path, not your parents, ex-husband, or anyone else. OP's wife is feeding the daughter's victim complex. No one stole Gina's life. Gina threw her life away. My mother-in-law divorced my father-in-law for similar reasons. I ran off for a few years, then tried to return to move into the family home, as nothing happened. Years later, she had the gall to call father-in-law's then-girlfriend a homewrecker. I'm sure Madison is very grateful for the choices Gina's made. What baffles me most of all is she was only 30. That's barely any time to, get married and have your kids and sort of school and get established in your career and buy a condo and decorate it. Why would she need more excitement? And at the same time, she fought hard for that condo, which speaks to wanting some stability, right? But why would she think a guy in his mid to late 20s would provide that? Gina's miscalculations are gigantic. No wonder she feels so much regret. Whining isn't the way, though. So I, 21 male, and a few friends went to celebrate a mutual friend for his birthday. His partner organized it, and we planned on going to an upscale restaurant in our city. Think suit and tie, dress code enforced. I showed up with my girlfriend, and we had a good time. We checked the prices beforehand, and my girlfriend and I set a budget we wouldn't go over since we had other priorities besides dumping it all on a dinner party. We ordered the food and are having a good time. We stay under budget, but my friend's partner continually orders more expensive drinks and food. I don't think much of it since it's his partner's birthday, but when the bill came, the table of 10 was suddenly told the gift expected was for us to split the check. Now, it's my friend's birthday, and I've known him for close to a decade. I would have been fine splitting his bill, however expensive it should be. To put it in perspective, my girlfriend and I paid just under $200, give or take. The bill was nearing $1,200, and they still wanted dessert. I noticed my girlfriend and I had the least food and didn't get multiple appetizers, drinks, etc. And most importantly, my girlfriend and I didn't drink since we worked this morning. The thing is, I know I'm more financially stable than my friends my age since I really just had the cosmic luck of landing a decent job out of school. So I could contribute, but frankly, I felt that this was a trap to get me to pay more than we budgeted. If they communicated prior to the dinner as an obligation, that's one matter, but suddenly telling us after everyone's done eating dinner seems sketchy at the very least. I had a quick text conversation with my girlfriend, and we both decided to order expensive desserts, raising the price even more. Now suddenly, when the bill came, it came out to $2,000 plus. Some people, especially my friend's boyfriend, didn't have enough money to pay the equal between everyone. They start bickering in a public restaurant, and my friend accuses me of intentionally raising the bill outside of their budget. I countered with how it was kind of rude just to expect people to pay for stuff for him, and he said it was his birthday. To keep the peace, I paid for his meal and left his drink and dessert tab for everyone else to split. I left with my girlfriend and paid our bills. When we were leaving, they were still arguing over the bill. That was yesterday. I woke up this morning to find on multiple social media how I'm such a terrible person and how I raised the bill by ordering extra food. Mind you, they were all planning on desserts while we weren't. My girlfriend says I did the moral thing, paying for my friend's food, but I'm livid. I got peer pressured into it. Am I the idiot? ROFL, if I were you, I'd only pay for my food along with the girlfriend and let the others split their food if that's what they wish. It's inappropriate and rude to attend a birthday, order food, and then say, we're gonna split it all. That's not how birthdays work, but it's a good way to manipulate someone. You are not the idiot, OP. I think it's crappy behavior when people know they're splitting a bill, so they start ordering cocktails, multiple hors d'oeuvres, expensive main courses, etc. It's clear that everyone was doing this because they expected you to cover it. I can't believe that your friend actually allowed you to pay for his meal after everything that happened. If that was me, I would have been so embarrassed and would have insisted on paying for my own food just to prove that I wasn't using my friend for free food. It backfired on his friends, hoping to acquire free goods from him, or at least pay for what they ate. Also, he said it's his birthday. Generally, if someone invites people to a restaurant to celebrate, the one having the birthday pays for everyone. That's the cultural norm. So the "it's his birthday" argument is total nonsense. These are not your friends. My wife and I both have electrical engineering degrees, but I no longer work in the field and am a manager. We have a daughter, teen, and a son, nearly adult, and both will be headed to university next month. My son is doing a BA and has yet to pick his major, and my daughter will be studying physics and computer science. My son is also very smart and is a history and language nerd. My daughter's smart and hardworking and is attending at an earlier age than usual. She was in a school program for gifted kids. We were having a conversation at dinner the other day, and my wife mentioned how proud she was of our daughter, how lucky we were to have gifted children going to good university programs, and how not many people could do what our daughter did. I was also very happy, but I said that while daughter is really hardworking and smart, I wouldn't say that she's actually gifted. and others could do it if they put in the same amount of work. Her school does a lot to try to admit girls into her program, and my wife helped teach her advanced college-level math and physics from an earlier age. She didn't naturally pick it up on her own. Being a younger applicant with the same credentials probably helped her stand out more for the admissions committee. I've seen how people can ruin their lives by thinking that they're gifted and it going to their heads, so I just wanted to caution her about that. Both my wife and daughter are upset with me now. My wife thinks I was trying to put her down, which isn't true, and she says she is gifted, while my daughter actually agrees with me, but says I shouldn't have said it, as she already knows. Am I the idiot here? It might not come across in the post, but I am genuinely proud and happy for my kids, and beyond what I described here, there was a lot of complimenting and celebrating on my part. You are the idiot. Putting your daughter down served no positive purpose. Discouraging a young teen like that can have serious detrimental effects. Even if she isn't gifted, you were the idiot. That being said, she is gifted. Not every mid-teen can go to a university to study physics. Not only is she gifted academically, but she's also gifted with drive and determination. Not everyone has that, and you tried to put her down. Yeah, did it feel good to say that about your daughter? Does it feel good to let her know that she's not as smart or unique as other people? That, like you, she's just average? Does it feel good to correct your wife about her views regarding said daughter and make her feel bad about her opinion? It must really damage your pride to have two exceptional women achieving more than you. And she's achieved more than a son too. Or am I the only one that noticed? Son excels at softer subjects, history and language, traditionally female, while daughter excels at harder subjects, physics and computer science, traditionally male. And she's going with early admission to the university. Son's going along with everyone else. It seems like Dad felt he had to knock her down a peg or three. What an idiot. OP is a total misogynist. He has to explain why his daughter isn't gifted, while the son doesn't have to be explained. He clearly thinks women are less talented. The daughter will be well equipped to deal with the misogyny she'll encounter studying physics and computer science. She's had to deal with it her whole life. For the past 2 weeks, I've been at my dad's. My older sister is like super into the decor. She went to college for home design and had slowly been redoing our house for our mom. She's paying for it all, so everyone has been super grateful. When I came back from my dad's, she told me she had a surprise for me. I was pretty nervous. I hate surprises, like more than your average person. She took me upstairs and my room was redecorated. I had a screaming breakdown. I hate it so much. I have collections and everything was organized. She moved it all. She even got rid of some of my stuff. I had a really firm mattress, and she's replaced it with a memory foam one. I used to have carpets and dark walls, and now I have wood floors, and everything's like a really vibrant blue. I mean, it's probably a nice room, if you're not me. I just freaking hate it. My bed is uncomfortable, my floor is cold, my walls hurt my eyes, and none of my things are where they're supposed to be. My mom kinda ushered everyone out when I was freaking out and came back in when I was calmer. She told me my behavior was unacceptable and that I needed to apologize. I did, and then slept on the couch that night. The morning after, my sister tried to act like nothing had happened, but I was still really annoyed. She said, "Aren't you gonna say thank you?" I told her, "No, I hate it, and I hate you for changing it." It was extreme, but I can't explain how awful the room made me feel. My mom was annoyed and yelled a bit, so I ended up calling my dad, who's now angry. He and my mom hate each other, so now everyone is just angry, and I don't really know what was my fault and what wasn't. I've been slowly moving my collections to his house, and now he's coming so I can move the remaining ones fully. Anyway, the house has been tense as all heck since. I haven't apologized to my sister, and she's hurt. I feel a little bad, but not really. Am I the idiot? I feel like I was a little justified, but she was just trying to be nice. Not the idiot. You can't redecorate someone's private space without their consent. There's no excuse for throwing some of your stuff away. If your sister wants to do this professionally, half the job is to understand the client's taste, not do whatever you, as the designer, like. If this is something your mom wanted, your sister should have worked with both of you to find some common ground, like real designers would do. No way this was a surprise. She knew you wouldn't agree, so she waited until you were gone to do it without your knowledge. Your sister needs to grow up and respect other people's personal space. Also, your mother is an idiot for siding with her and not acknowledging how negatively this has impacted your life. It's obvious who the golden child is, and it's not you. So sorry, OP. Hopefully you can go live with your dad and get some autonomy and respect back. People here make the worst assumption that the sister did this to mess with OP. It sounds like the sister is grown and has actual clients, and the mom is her client too. You are the idiot. It seems as if OP's anger may be a bit misplaced. Sister just graduated and is completely replacing the interior of a home. Removal of carpet, repainting walls, and replacing a bed. Sounds like mom really wanted this done. It's her house, her rules. My family is very well educated and full of professionals, including several doctors, surgeons, dentists, etc. I have a good career and make a good living. When I met my fiance, he was at my house to supervise a roofing crew the insurance company had hired to replace my damaged roof. I instantly fell for him when he pulled up in his truck and couldn't keep my eyes off of him for the rest of the day as he gave orders to his men. When we started dating, he was vague about his job, and I just chalked it up to him being insecure about me having a better career. I didn't care about our income imbalance. When we got serious, we talked about our future plans, and that's when he told me the full extent of his little construction company. I was shocked that his construction earnings were as much as my dad's surgeon salary. Gradually, he took me around to the handful of construction lots and shopping centers that he owns. His rental income, combined with his construction earnings, is double that of my dad's. He said that few people know about his finances, and he expects me to keep what I know to myself. My parents disapproved of him the first time I brought him home. My dad coined the term tool boy. The rest of my family joined in whenever they talked behind my fiance's back. They don't call him that to his face, but instead make snide remarks. Once my mom said, during dinner, that they were thinking about hiring someone to mow their lawn, then turned to my fiance and asked him what he charges. I always try to defend him, and it's a constant battle. It's gotten worse since we're planning our wedding, and the other day, my nerves just broke. Yesterday, parents were trying to get me into getting prenuptial. Then my dad said, "You have to protect your assets, just in case Tool Boy decides to go slumming." I lost it and yelled at my parents. During our shouting, I blurted out his earnings and that he makes more than them combined, then stormed out. I told my fiance what happened, but instead of supporting me, he got mad that I told my parents. I argued that I was defending him. Then we got into an argument. My parents and family are mad at me for keeping secrets. My fiance's mad at me for not keeping secrets. I'm stuck in the middle and don't know what to do. It sounds like your fiance likes to build relationships on foundations and merits outside of his finances. Meanwhile, your family looks down on anyone they deem lesser earners than themselves. I know whose corner I'd be in. Apologize to your fiance and tell your family to stuff it. Your family are snobbish idiots and will likely always be snobbish idiots. Their opinion doesn't matter. You are marrying your fiance. There's no middle. You're an adult and aren't obligated to make mommy and daddy happy or pay any attention to their nonsense. All you have done is reinforce the notion that it's okay for your parents to look down on poor folks by letting them know that your fiance isn't one of the poor folks. They honestly sound awful, and I can't believe your fiance has put up with this treatment for this long, and I can't believe you've allowed it to continue. Sorry, but you are the idiot. You could have said plenty of other things to illustrate how horrible your family was being. You didn't have to throw out numbers. Now if your family starts acting better, he'll always know it's based on his earnings, not his character.